Hello, beautiful people. I hope that you're all doing so well. I hope that you're thriving. I hope that you're taking care of yourself. And most importantly, I hope that you are having a fabulous weekend so far, that you've had a fabulous week, and that everything is just going beautifully on your side. If you didn't know where you are currently and who you're listening to, you're here with me in the garden once again, listening to the Doing Life with Love and Magic podcast. I am your host, Ndwentle, and this is the space whereby I like to chat shit, where I like to share my life's perspective as I navigate clumsily through my 20s, because I just feel like the 20s are such an interesting time for character development. It's a beautiful time to kind of set the foundations for the person that you want to be as you navigate through this crazy thing that we're all enjoying, which is life. And I don't believe that this is our one and only opportunity to become different people or make our life what we want it to be. But I think it's a pretty great place to start, honestly. But as humans, we never really fully stop growing. We could decide to change our lives at the age of 50, and that's cool. That's okay. But I kind of decided a while ago that I just wanted a space whereby I would share my journey, and if that resonated with anyone, provided any sort of entertainment, comfort, or whatever it is, then that's amazing, and I'm glad. And if it doesn't resonate, that's okay as well. Life is way too short to be listening to people or doing shit that doesn't resonate with you, and I invite you to find something that does. But happy Sunday. That is when I'm currently recording this episode. And like I mentioned, I'm in the garden once again. I've just been gravitating towards nature lately, as you can tell. Especially now that the rainy days have kind of stopped for now and the sun is out a bit. I'm just really wanting to be in the sunshine more so often than not. I am sitting in the grass today, but I'm terrified of getting stung by bees. Whatever these little things I see that are floating here. So I might just move just now, because what if I'm sitting on a patch of grass that needs to be pollinated or some shit? I don't know. Anyway, hi. That was a really, really long intro for no apparent reason. So let's just kind of get into this weekend, the vibes that we've carried into the weekend, the vibe that we are going to be carrying into the upcoming week. And what we've been liking, what we've been resonating with. So I kind of feel like for the most part I have chatted about what I've been resonating with, because I did record another episode during this week. I had some time during the week because we got released from work early on Mental Health Day or Mental Health Awareness Day. So I had some time to record something, and I only posted that yesterday. So here we are. But I guess one thing that I can tell you that I did yesterday, which was really cute and wholesome, is one of my cousins came over because he was helping my brother with a project. Oh, sorry, don't mind me. This little Nunu landed on me and I got scared. But so my cousin came over and helped my brother with a project, and at the end of that we all decided to go get some pizza, and we actually sat around the table, ate the pizza, and just spoke about life and the wholesome shit that we wanted to do. It was really cute to just chat with my cousin, and he's coming up with all these great ideas of cute stuff that we could do that's inexpensive, that's wholesome, and I'm yes. That is doable. I am down to do that. We should go. I think we've just come to a realization that we don't be spending as much time together as we should be. In the golden years when people aren't necessarily tied down by individual families and all of that good shit. So that in itself was like really nice to just chat with him, like really simple doable ideas. So that was really nice, and the pizza that we had was delicious as well. So I'm incredibly grateful that I got to do that yesterday, and I'm looking forward to our plans down the line, when we go out there and do wholesome things. Like, we were talking about bowling. Like, I haven't been bowling in so long, but like that, it's just so nice, and it's like so much fun. So I'm really looking forward to when we do like stuff like that. Mini golf, that's been on like my radar for the longest time. I kept telling my brother I really want to go for mini golf, and we just haven't got around to it. But like when my cousin mentioned it, I was like, yes, let's go. And I'm just thinking of like all the beautiful sunny days that are ahead. I'm like, I'm even down to go to the beach and have a picnic and chill out. Like, that's the kind of shit that I want to be doing. Like, as soon as I change my hair to like my summer hair, I feel like I'm gonna be like, take me to the beach, take me hiking, take me outside to do like cute stuff, like let me do pottery. Like, I just want to be in my wholesome girl tip. Like, that's what I want to do. Like, I want to fucking go get a matcha on the beach if I have to. Like, that's what we kind of on right now. It's like some good stuff. Like, right now I feel terrible. I just ate a Nando's chicken. That's not very wholesome of me, and literally I had a pizza. Yes, like this week I just feel like I've been eating not well, and I honestly feel like I'm not gonna blame my period, but I'm gonna blame my period. I've just been like, I will eat anything and everything, and I low-key feel like that's made me feel a little bit worse than maybe I was already feeling, because I feel like I was eating pretty clean for the past couple of weeks and I was feeling really good, and this week it's been average, but it's fine, it's okay. Like, it's been average, but it's been good at the same time. I don't know how to explain it. Like, I feel like my eating definitely could have been better, but shoulda, coulda, woulda, and I did it. And I'm not going to feel bad about that. So, yeah. That in itself was really great. The next thing that I did over the course of this weekend, so we came back, and then my parents were like, can you please go buy Nando's? And I'm like, guys, seriously, you couldn't have told us to buy the Nando's like while we were out for pizza. Like, you had to wait for us to come back to ask for us to go buy pizza. Like, make it make sense. So that did upset me a bit, because like I mentioned, it was such a beautiful warm day, and I just really wanted to be outside in the sunshine, chilling for a bit. Like, that's the wave that I've been on. So I had to go buy the Nando's and then come back. But my brother and I eventually ended up like chilling outside, and then it got a bit chilly. Then we came back inside, and I played Sims, guys. I played Sims. I play Sims like every once in a while. But like my brother, like, we make a joke about it all the time. He's always like, I want to play Sims, because he's still in like his varsity thing, and like every now and again when he needs a break, he's like, I need to play Sims, I want to play Sims. So yesterday he and I sat together and we played Sims, and it was great. It was lovely. Yeah, my sim, so I have like this generation that I've been playing with, and like my original Sims had children, and I've been kind of playing the storyline of the children. So there is this one that I had who I wanted her to be like an astronaut sort of vibe, and I think she was on like her career level 7 or something along those lines. And she met with this guy who's like on his way to being like a professional athlete, but he's really not earning a lot. Like, I think he earns like 400 simoleons if I'm not mistaken, and he's on like career level 6. So they live together, not that rich, they had like a 1-story really chilled out house, very cute. She had 2 kids. She has 2 kids. She was like pregnant with she was pregnant with her second kid, like 2 girls. Mackenzie, no, it's not Mackenzie. It started with like McKinley, that was her name, McKinley, and the other one who I named Malibu. So McKinley and Malibu, those were her 2 daughters, but sadly she passed away. She drowned in the pool under very mysterious circumstances. Then all of a sudden this new nanny pops up on the scene, and her name is Deja Vu. I was killing myself yesterday, like creating all of these characters and these stories. My brother's actually the one that gave me the name for like the new mystery nanny that just popped up, because old dude that was left behind after she died was just not coping, like handling these 2 kids, like a newborn and a toddler. It was just a bit too much for him, and the newborn like kept crying, she kept throwing fits. Like it was actually getting traumatizing because he was at work for so long while the mom died and drowned. It was actually very tragic. I wanted to cry. It was the first time like a sim of mine has passed away, but the storyline in itself was very interesting. So anyway, this nanny named Deja Vu rolls through. She hates kids, she's evil, but she's taking care of the kids for some reason. So I don't know, could be that the storyline is that the mom didn't drown accidentally. You'll never know until next time on Sims 4. But yeah, that in itself was like really fun. I do hate it when I decide to play Sims late, because like I end up falling asleep, and that's exactly what happened. I fell asleep while playing Sims. Not the best way to fall asleep, honestly, but it's kind of fun. It just takes me back to the days when I was in university, and you know, after we had exams or like a major project season was over, like that would be my way to like kind of decompress and have some fun. I will admit that playing it on a regular basis maybe is not the best thing. Could be considered like a form of escapism in a sense, but it's really fun every once in a while. Like I really do enjoy it, and yesterday it was definitely one of those days when I enjoyed it. But yeah, then I woke up this morning, and I've been reading this book called A Good Girl's Guide to Murder. And I'm like well into it now, and it's actually starting to give me stress, because I'm like, I don't know what's happening. To kind of break it down for you, it's basically a story about this student who, like, as part of one of her projects for the year that she's in, decides to kind of like reinvestigate like a murder case that happened. I think it was like 5 years prior to the actual story taking place, and it involves like some of people that she went to school with and all of that stuff. So she basically starts investigating like a murder case, because she thinks that the guy who was, inverted commas, convicted of being guilty of murdering this one girl at the school that she went to, she thinks that he's innocent. So yeah, like part of her project was kind of like digging around and seeing like what was missed, and she's asking all these questions, and it's just like really like intense and kind of scary at the same time. Actually, it's not even that scary, but like, I don't know, I would be creeped out if I was in her situation and I was trying to like solve basically a murder or like prove that someone was innocent. Mind you, the guy that was kind of called guilty in the case, he died, so he's not even there to like vouch for himself type of thing. So yeah, it's quite hectic, and it's quite different from like the books that I was reading. I feel like I was really into like my rom-com bag for a couple of months, but I really wanted something interesting and a little bit more grippy, and this definitely has been interesting and grippy. And I kind of just have decided that while I'm trying to detox myself from YouTube, granted I don't think I've been doing the best job at it, especially like over the weekends, But during the week, I just really want to get back into my reading bag. Like, I want to be like fully immersed into a story. And like, as much as I don't read this book on a regular basis, like all the time, when I do read it, it's very engrossing. And I feel like after this, possibly I might go back into reading it after I buy myself lunch for the rest of the week, because I haven't done that. But also, I am feeling super tired and I don't really feel like driving out to go buy some food right now. Like, I'm feeling very lazy. It's very unfortunate. But yeah. Anyway, that in itself, really interesting book. So I'm really excited to see like how that plays out. I think I'm just like over the midway of the story. Like, it's really starting to kick up and become a little bit more intense. So yeah, I've got many. It's so hard. Like, I'm not good at guessing stuff, so I don't have many like really good theories. But like, maybe after I finish reading it, I can do like a bit of a book review in terms of like what had happened. There'll be some spoilers, unfortunately, because I really want to talk about this sort of stuff. But yeah, that book, interesting. Also convinced me so much that I really need to get a Kindle. Like, this business of reading books on my laptop or on my phone isn't really doing a thing of disconnecting, if that makes sense. Like, I want to either have a physical book or have a Kindle. Like, there's no ifs, buts, or whats about it. Like, I think that's what I need, so I can fully be in like my book reading bag. And also, if I want to go to like the beach over the summer and like read a book or like engross myself in something, I've got that there, you know? So I'm really excited and looking forward to when I can do that. Like, that's amazing. But yeah, so I've been rambling for a long time, but that's kind of like the gist when it comes to vibes and general feelings at the moment. And yeah, I'm just hoping to take in some good vibes into this upcoming week. It is the week of the competition, and I am shitting bricks. So if you're new or didn't know, on the weekends I do pole. And no, it's not the sexy stripper pole related things that you might be thinking if you don't know much about pole. It's literally about like doing really pretty spins and like strengthening your body. It's kind of like, I kind of like to picture it like ballet on a pole, basically. It's such a beautiful sport, honestly, and it's actually very like taxing on your muscles and on your brain, because honestly I feel like you don't really realize, like, what am I trying to say? I'm just saying, like, I don't know, like, sometimes it takes so much like mental strength to trust and believe that your muscles will catch you and you won't fall to your death and die from climbing a pole, you know? I didn't really know that when I first started, but the more I kept going back to class, like, it's actually surprising how strong you become, like, while you're having fun. And yeah, and how quickly your body becomes accustomed to doing some of the moves. Like, I literally 2 years ago I could barely climb up the pole, and now I'm doing all of these like weird upside down tricks, and it's really fun and it's amazing. So like, ever since I started, like, my instructor has encouraged us all to, you know, participate in this competition that happens every year. We all know it's coming, and we spend like a month and a bit like preparing for the competition. It's usually moves that we've been doing in class, but we kind of have to perform them in front of the judges. And this year there was kind of like what's the word I'm looking for, like an opportunity to either do tricks. So when I talk about tricks are basically just like moves, like we have a couple of moves that we need to learn, and the instructors will pick the moves. The instructors will pick the moves and like call them out, and you have to perform the moves for them. I think you've got like 2 skips that you can do. So in previous years I've done the tricks part, but this year they introduced routines, and I feel like I'm more of a routine girly. Like, I find that shit like really fun when we have to like put moves together. I just think it looks so pretty and it looks absolutely amazing, and I just find that like tricks last year did not go down well for me, especially because I think I got like super nervous. Like, last year was, I keep saying, I just feel like it just wasn't my year. I wasn't all the way there, like mentally, like spiritually. I just felt like it was a bit of a schlep to get anything done because I just wasn't feeling great. This year the energy is a little bit different. I still don't quite know like where I'm at. I feel better, I feel good, but in relation to the competition, I am fucking nervous because literally yesterday was the first time I had basically practiced my routine with my music. So I picked Fiumeho, a Kali Ucha song, to be my song that I kind of dance to, and like, oh my gosh, it was so difficult, especially because like there's the spinning part of the routine and there's the static part of the routine. So as you go from like one pole to the other, you have to kind of do like a little bit of a dance, and I don't think I'm like I'm not a dancer, nor am I like, I don't know what's the word, like I just feel like I struggle to connect with the more like sensual side of myself. And Fiumeho is like a very like sensual, like pretty song. Like it just has this groove about it that you just have to sway the hips and like make sultry like I feel like it gives that vibe. And in my head I was like, okay, cool, like maybe I could give that vibe. Like, I love this song. There's something about it that keeps me coming back to it. And anyway, so now I'm practicing my routine, and one of the other like very experienced trainers was like there, and I was so scared to perform in front of this lady because she's so fucking good at what she does. Like, I'm literally just like an amoeba here. I come here for fun. Like, she's a fucking professional. So I wanted to vomit when she was like, okay, like show me your routine from start to finish. Mind you, it was hot as hell yesterday. I was sweating. I was like panting. I'm doing this routine for her. I'm not doing it perfectly. I don't even know if my toes were pointed out. I was climbing this pole. I know I bombed out like last year when I did the competition. So like I'm literally wanting to cry and vomit. In between, like I have no idea what I'm doing. Like my dance is not... I'm not fully confident in what I'm doing, basically, is what I'm trying to say. So after she has a look at my routine, she's like, yeah, girl, like the things that you're doing in between here, this little walk situation is very boring. And I'm like, fair enough. Like, I knew that. Like, this is me just like spitballing. It's like the first time I've put this whole thing together. Like, I had an idea in my brain in terms of like how I wanted it to come together, but I haven't really been practicing like going from one pole to the other and the dance. And it's so hard to practice this shit when you're at home because there's no poles for you to climb and practice this on a regular basis. Like, if I had one at home, I feel like I might be feeling a little bit more comfortable because I would at least, you know, have had some practice to be like, okay, this is how I would do it. But like, I go to pole once a week. That's all like I can afford to pay. Number one. Number two, like that's what it is. What it is. Like also when I'm in the class, it's not like everyone has their own pole to themselves. We're sharing. So it's like, as much as we've practiced the moves themselves individually in class so many times, but it's like the time to put together a nice routine and practice it with your music and like do the dance things in between. Like, there is none of that, you know? There's only so many hours within a week to do all of this shit. So I'm like panicking and stressing myself out. But I'm really grateful that I performed the whole thing in front of her, and she gave me some really good pointers. She was like, first of all, you have a really flexible back and you are not showcasing that at all in your entire routine. I want you to put that in there. So I'm like, vibes, like, okay, cool, like I can do that, like just tell me what to do. It's so hard because I feel like in these sorts of instances, I'm not a professional. I don't know what looks good. Like, literally, I can do the shit if you give me some direction and tell me like what to do, but like I have zero to no experience putting it all together. Like, I did this shit because my instructor said like, you can do this, and I was like, yeah, that looks great, I'm gonna try that. But if you think I'm gonna sit there and like concoct things on my own, maybe like next year, but not this year. So I did that, and then eventually I practiced the whole thing, and there were some pointers, but like watching the video of myself doing that whole routine, I'm like, why do I look like a baby Bambi? I'm trying to look all grown up and like dance to this shit, and I'm like, I feel like I'm giving child playing dress up in their parents' room. Like, I don't know what it is, and I feel like, I don't know, maybe someone out there can resonate, but like, as a grown woman, have you ever felt like all that you can radiate is cute energy and you can't necessarily like tap into your like sensual energy? I feel like I wish I could be one of those women, and maybe I can be. I've just never put it to, like, I just never felt like the need to, but like I feel like there's women out there that like effortlessly like radiate this like siren like sensual energy, if that's what I can call it. And I feel like I battle to tap into that. Like, I can pull off cute very easily, cute and pretty, I can do that, and I get told all the time, you're so cute, but like I've never been told like, girl, you are hot, sexy even. Like, I don't know how to pull that off, and I feel like I have become so painstakingly like aware of that just like through this performance that I've put on here. And not to say that I'm trying to like seduce the judges or whatever, but like I just think there's something nice about being able to tap into that energy when you need it. And maybe it's something for me to consider as I go into like 27 next year, but I would love to tap in more into that side of myself. Like, I always feel like when I try and be like more present as more like grown and like hot and stuff, like I struggle to do that so much. I think I also like become more aware of it when I go out with like, not just like me and my best friend, I can be cool and chill and whatever, and also some of my other friends, I'm cool and chill and I can be cute, it's fine. It's when we go out with like some of my best friends where I'm just like, these women are hot. Like, they are giving grown, and I feel like I'm a child in comparison to them. And you know, when I realized that, like at the time, like I just brushed it off because I really don't care most of the time what people think about me. I really don't. Like, sometimes, okay, someone might say something and I'm like, I don't know if I like that. But for the most part, like, I care more about how I see myself and how I want to like project in that particular moment in time. So anyway, I remember we had gone out with the group of friends, and there was this one cheeky boo that I didn't know that like had shown up on the scene, and like she literally flat out point blank asked me, how old are you? Like, I thought you were a kid. And I was like, well, at least when I'm 30 I'll look like I'm in my 20s. That's a bright selling point, right? And then she didn't really say anything after that, but I was just like, well, damn, like I'm literally 25 and people are thinking I'm a teen. In some ways it's a good thing, but in some other ways I'm like what if I was really trying to go for like grown look and you just told me that I look like a child? Like, what do you think that's gonna do for my self-esteem? You know? So these are the things, like these are the questions that I have sometimes that like worry me, but you know, all in good time. We'll work on it somehow, some way, and we'll figure it out. We'll get it together, you know? But anyway, let me just walk, because my dad is home and I'm like, I would really like to just carry on riffing and not pausing and all of that nonsense. But yeah, anyway, what else was I saying? So that in itself is just one of the things that are worrying me, but I'm really hoping that I just take like good vibe energy into competition week, and that the competition will kind of work out in my favor somehow, some way. It's literally 1 minute and 30 seconds of my life. I can do the routine. It's not like I'm struggling in any sense, but yeah, it's just a thing of making sure that, more so than anything, that I feel proud of how I present myself in that moment. I want to feel like I am ready to kind of present what I've been working on to the judges. Because last year I just felt like, not that I was unprepared, like I had practiced that shit like many times, but I wasn't feeling confident in myself, in my body. And I feel like this year there is a little bit more of that swagger, a little bit more of that confidence, and I want that to come through. I'm just scared because like I don't think I particularly enjoy these like test settings in a physical sense, if that makes sense. Like, I just don't enjoy the fact that this is something that I do for fun. Like when it's just us as a class sitting together, like showcasing what we've been learning, it's fine, it's cool. But when it like comes to a point where it's like, okay, now we gotta be serious, I'm just like, ooh, I don't know about that. I don't know. But what I'll do is I'll just practice in my head at least like the parts that I can do. I definitely know that I can do my moves. It's just, yeah, one of the things that my instructors had pointed out was that like I was doing so much in the beginning part that I'm tiring myself out. So by the time I get to the later half of the routine, I'm exhausted and like things are looking sloppy, which I understand, and I feel like it happens. On top of that, I feel like I'm also going so fast, and I don't really need to go fast. Like, I just need to slow it down a bit. But it's also a thing of nerves. You know, when you're nervous and you are doing something maybe for the first time, or you're doing something that is maybe out of your depth a little bit, like you just are like, I want to get it over with as fast as possible without embarrassing myself. And I feel like it's a thing of like, sometimes you just gotta try and get out of your own head and like enjoy what you are doing. Like, I love Fiumeho. Like, I feel like I need to like feed into that a little bit more. I think I'm just like so in my head about I have to go in accordance to the music and the rhythm. And fine, that's part of it, but it's also about feeling into your body and moving and showcasing all the moves that you've learned and being fluid and being like pretty and like just showing that, you know, you're doing the damn thing. You've been taking notes, you've been paying attention to like what's been going on around you, you know? You gotta do that. You gotta do that. and just have fun with it as well. Like, how often do you get to showcase like your talents, skills and abilities in front of people? Like, this is your opportunity, and this is me telling myself. But also, if you're going through something similar-ish, where you have to kind of showcase like what you've been learning, like whether it's in school, whether it's like a work presentation, or whether it's anything along those lines, like, I don't know, like, try and give it the best that you can give it. Like, don't try and psych yourself up too much about it, because nothing in this life is really ever that serious. And I feel like in previous years, like maybe the first year it was fine and I was able to do well, because like I was like, this is new for me, like I'm just testing this out, like I want to do a decent job, like I don't really have any expectations. Second year, I feel like because I had expected myself to do well the previous year, and maybe I didn't put as much like effort into making sure I was nailing my moves, I kind of was expecting to do decently well and kind of get away with it. Like, it's weird, but I used to do that a lot when like we would do tests and stuff. Like, I never used to fully study everything I needed to study for tests. Like, I would half learn shit and know that I would get away with it. It sounds so weird, but like I knew I could still do pretty well by putting in like maybe 85%, 80% of effort, and I knew I would still get like a decent mark, because I kind of understood the concept that we had spoken about. Call it manifestation, call it like an over, I don't know, kind of over trusting yourself, or being so delusional that you know you're still gonna do really well. Like, I don't know what it was. Like, even from high school, I never really used to. It just became worse in varsity, where I was just like, fuck that. Like, I'm not gonna read all of these chapters. I kind of know what's happening here. I could just guess. And also, I'm just relying on the fact that maybe they might not test me as much on that thing. And maybe I took those principles into this. And this is just like so different, because you can't fake that you don't know how to do a move when it's physical. Like, it's very obvious. But yeah, I also just think I was super anxious and I was super nervous, that I psyched myself up so much. Like, I think literally closer to the competition day, I was confusing how to fucking invert, something that I do all the time. Like, granted, not as well as other people, but I know my inverts aren't clean. But like, I was second guessing myself. I was like, is this really how I invert? Like, is this how I do it right? Like, are we sure? Are we certain? Like, it was very stressful. So I feel like now, this year, I just want to prove to myself and prove that I'm capable of doing this shit, and I can do it really well, you know? So yeah, those are the vibes of the competition. So send me good luck, send me good vibes. I've already decided now that I need to do something nice for myself post-competition, regardless of how I do. The worst that I can get is a bronze, and I've got that before. Like, that's the worst that can happen. Even if I fall, which hopefully doesn't happen, it just depends on the weather. That's the worst that can happen, and the worst has happened already. Like, I got a bronze last year. Did I die? No. I went to a rugby game after and talked to a really hot guy. It really wasn't that bad. Like, it really wasn't. At the end of the day, I still lived and I still went back to pole. Like, even though I had that moment where I'm like, fuck this shit, I don't want to do pole anymore. I feel so embarrassed because I know I did terribly. Fuck that. Like, at the end of the day, like, I never see those judges until like the day after. And also, my instructor can't tell me shit because I pay her money to do these classes. Like, at the end of the day, that is what it is. Like, no shade to my instructor. Like, she's amazing, and honestly, I feel like she wants to see us all do really well and grow from strength to strength. And obviously, I want to make her proud, because she puts in so much work to make sure that like we're doing the things that we need to do, of course. But at the end of the day, that's the reality of the situation. what is she gonna do? She's not gonna smack me for not doing well. I decided to come to the lessons. No one's forcing me to do anything. I decided to do it. So, like, regardless of how I do, that's my own prerogative. It's just about, like, accepting that happened for whatever particular reason. All I need to focus on doing is doing my best. And if I feel like I need to practice a little bit more during the week to show up as my best and feel a little bit more confident, that's okay. The only struggle is I need a fucking pole. I do. I really do. Like, even a tree will do. Like, just so I can practice, like, walking around and spinning and all of these things, you know? But I just don't want to do it where it's too visible to, like, my neighbors, because granted, they're probably going to be like, what is wrong with this chick? Why is she, like, pretending like she got a pole or something? But there is a cute little pole that I'm looking at that I could practice on. It's actually very possible. I might just go there. Anyway, so yeah, that's kind of the vibes in terms of the competition. What else has been heavy on my mind? I did promise y'all a bit of a love life story time type situation, but I feel like that needs to be its own thing. And I thought about recording that sort of podcast today, but I'm not really feeling in the vibe for it. And I don't want to just tack it on to the end of this whole, like, inspirational moment that I'm feeling like I'm vibing with right now. So that's probably something that you can look forward to in the upcoming week, if there's time, because it's very possible that I might just be doing, like, a poll competition update Sunday after. Oh wait, before I even get there, actually no, let me finish the rest of my thoughts and sentences. So yeah, I think maybe keep a lookout for that one in the next, like, 2 weeks or so. But going back to what I was thinking for after the competition, and it's something that we can apply to regular life when it comes to big things that are on the agenda, or even, like, small things, like small accomplishments, if you know what I mean. I honestly feel like we need to have things there to kind of celebrate the things that we do. I feel like that's something that I've been really bad at doing, just in terms of, like, celebrating certain milestones in life before moving on to the next thing. I just find it very difficult to celebrate, like, accomplishing something. Like, I don't fully think I celebrated getting a new job this year or anything along those lines. So I have told myself that after the poll competition, I would love to do something for myself, like, whether it's buy something I've really been looking forward to, or, like, even taking myself out for a matcha. Because, like, after class yesterday, I took myself out for a matcha because, like, when I woke up in the morning, I was just feeling so nervous because I knew there was shit that I hadn't put together yet, and I wasn't sure how it was going to play out, like, in the class setting. I was so worried that I was going to fumble and fall, and it was going to be fucking embarrassing, and I was going to feel even more nervous about the competition than I was feeling. But it actually wasn't so bad. So after, I was like, I know you were super stressed out, so let's go get a matcha. Make it that strawberry matcha that you like. A small one, nothing too hectic, just to be like, I'm proud of you, you're doing well, and we're going to be okay. So next week, after the poll competition, I would love to go and do something similar. Like, I would love to go reward myself with a matcha, or even buy myself a perfume that I've been eyeing, because I feel like I've worked hard for it, and I deserve a spoil to be like, fucking well done. Like, you don't need a gold or a silver or whatever. I can literally spoil you with something nice that you can look forward to. So that also just takes off the pressure a little bit, regardless of what the outcome is going to be next week. I know that I've promised myself a perfume. Kind of like how, like, you know, parents kind of try and manipulate their parents sometimes, and they're like, if you get a gold, or if you get an A+, or something along those lines, I will buy you the thing that you've been asking me to do. It puts like a little bit of extra motivation, you know? And I just feel like sometimes, like, as we grow up, maybe we feel less inclined to put our whole coochie into something, like, in case we fail or we look stupid. And I feel like that possibly could also be the reason why I'm not really like leaning into this full sensual, like, take it seriously type thing, because I'm scared of looking stupid. But then when I look at the video, I'm like, girl, you look stupid, because I know you could put more effort into this. Like, I know you could kill it if you really not paid attention, but if you really put your heart and soul into it and just pretend like it's just you and the mirror and the music. Like, if you just do that, I think you'll be fine. And just pretend like you're performing on stage, like you really are Kali Uchis and SZA in this moment. Like, tap into that energy. So I'm asking you to tap into that energy as well, in relation to whatever it is that you've got going on right now. Like I said, if it's like a work presentation, or if, I don't know, what do people do these days? I don't actually even know. Or if you've got a singing competition or something along those lines, like, don't be afraid to make a fool out of yourself. Like, so as long as if you put your whole heart and soul into something. Because, like, the people that really be doing the most to show how into something they are, those are the people that do really well. Like, and even if it takes you a couple of tries to get into that feeling, that's okay as well. Like, whenever we do something new for the first time, you might look stupid, and you have to be okay with that. You have to be, just knowing that it's not going to prevent you from going in and doing it again. And also, on the same breath, like, literally reward yourself for achieving a milestone. If you're doing something for the first time or the 100th time or whatever, but it still makes you feel nervous and you're not 100% comfortable with doing it, I feel like it's more than fair to reward yourself for doing that thing, because you've put yourself out there. Doesn't mean you have to go buy yourself a whole Lambo for doing something, but like, even if it's something small, like, take yourself out for a treat. Like, I don't know, do like a girls get together, like, after, just to celebrate that you've accomplished something, even if it might seem so small in the grand scheme of things. Like, the important thing is that you achieved that thing. You know, you set out to do what you said that you were going to do, and that's just so important, to kind of reward yourself and acknowledge that you've put yourself out there. Fears and all. Like, you did the damn thing. And you just have to be super proud of yourself for doing that. And yeah, that's kind of like the vibes that we were on. That's kind of like where our mental well-being was at. And guys, I don't think I'm going to be leaving the house, hey? I really don't. I'm trying to think of what I'm going to have for lunch. I've got bulgur wheat, and maybe I can just grab some vegetables from our canteen at work, because wow, this is like the first time that I feel like I've chilled at home. Sorry, I've literally just switched conversation topics. Yeah, don't mind me. But yeah, reward yourself, guys. Even if it's like, oh, I've just thought of an idea. If you maybe have been trying to get back into the gym, and all you do is start off with once a week, and you achieve that once a week, reward yourself by getting yourself a smoothie or something. Like, that's a big feat. No matter how small, like, make sure that you feel appreciated by yourself, because ain't nobody gonna clap for you for achieving anything. Okay, sometimes people do like clap for you, but like, they don't know what work it took to get to whatever point that you got to. They don't know the silent battles that you've been conquering by yourself behind all of that. So you have to clap for your damn self. Okay? All right. And yeah, that's kind of like my message for the day, just in terms of like hyping you up and just reminding you to kind of reward yourself for doing big and scary things. You've got this. And even if you fail, because that is a reality, sometimes we do fail, but like never look at it as like a failure, just more so of a learning and an opportunity to do better going forward. Even if that does happen, you still won, because you're getting a lesson out of it. Like sometimes you just need to take a step back and kind of process what that learning is. Sometimes we don't see the learning until far down the line, and that's okay as well. But this is just a gentle reminder to yourself that you've got this. Put your all into it if you can, and yeah, everything will work itself out. It's gonna be okay. It's gonna be alright. Okay? So yeah, take care of yourself, and don't forget, everything that you do, even if it's shaking your booty in your room, do it with love and a sprinkling of magic. I love you very, very much. Chat to you soon. Eek! Bye.